and welcome to the Tavern Chat Podcast. I am your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. Discord server, meme group, Facebook group, Twittering, and at Instagram shite. So, last night, I was getting all these notifications from Anchor. And it was like, you having a new sponsorship opportunity. I'm like, oh, wow, cool. Another email. Like 6 or 7 fucking emails. I'm like, this can't be right. There's no way I go from over a year without Anchor supplying a sponsor to all of a sudden getting 7. It wasn't 7. It was 3. But they're not even real sponsorships. And by the way, because of this, and the fact that the podcast is doing pretty well, and the blog is doing extremely well, best Alexa ranking that I can recall, one of the best, I think, if not the best in the OSR, damn close to it, and very strong for the hobby in general. I was like, you know what? I really should proactively offer sponsorships. We're going to, just so you know, this podcast will have sponsorship. The timing's going to be coming up. It's going to be surprise, for some Kickstarters that are aimed at the OSR. Okay, so if you've got something that you want, that you think you could be a good sponsor for the show, reach out to me at tankars.tavern@gmail.com or leave a voicemail. I don't have to put the voicemail up, but you can leave a voicemail, whatever, however you want to discuss. Reach me on Facebook. If you've already friended me on Facebook, you know how to do that. But I was already thinking of, because again, Anchor isn't. So Anchor sent 3. But here, I've never heard of charity promotion before with a click per mil of 0 or copper pieces per mil, right? So, charity promotion, ballot ready. And this ad must be at least 30 seconds long. 30 seconds long, I'm not getting anything for it, right? I'm interrupting my podcast for 30 fucking seconds, and it's got a script and mandatory talking points and optional talking points and a mandatory call to action. So I'm like, all right, so obviously it's about the election. It's the elephant in the room. I understand that. Okay. So I go, no, I don't think so. Next one. Charity promotion. Democracy works. So now it's the same fucking thing, right? It's, again, a charity. It's, again, about voting. And it's, again, all right, this one doesn't have a minimum 30 seconds. Because you're telling me there's a minimum on something and I'm not being compensated for it. Go fuck yourself, right? Okay. So, let's look at the third one. Third one, charity promotion. Head count. Required, must be at least 30 seconds. Again, mandatory talking points. Are you registered to vote? Head count is a non-partisan organization that works with the music and entertainment industry to get fans to vote. Alright, folks, listen, I'm not doing this for any of these fucking charity shits. I don't care where you live. If you live in a democracy, you should be registered to vote. Okay? In the U.S., in the States, there are areas where on elections such as presidential elections, your vote is probably inconsequential. If you live out in California or New York, probably Washington, state of Washington, Washington, D.C., your vote's spoken for. Okay, remember presidential elections. It's electoral college. You know which way your state's gonna vote. Okay, if you're in a swing state, your vote means a fucking shit ton. All right, but if you're in some of the flyover states, you always vote consistently red. If you're out on in the Northeast or the West Coast, you states consistently vote blue. Yeah, they're not looking for your vote. Okay, they're looking for your vote in the swing states. But for local elections, your vote does matter. Okay, and it's important. That's part of being in a representative democracy. All right, we don't have direct democracy. We don't vote on every bit of law or legislation, right? We elect individuals to do that for us. And local elections is really where your vote counts. So, not for nothing, all due respect, fuck Anchor, okay? Trying to sell me on, like I said, literally 6 or 7 notifications coming through that I have sponsors, but I don't. Okay? But yes. Vote. Now, since I brought this up, I brought this up on the blog side earlier today, that the tavern is a neutral ground. And what that means. And what that means is, you know what? There are personalities in our corner of the universe that are not liked by other corners of the universe or aspects because of their political history or political stance. And no, I'm not talking about people that basically burned their business down, Judges Guild. I'm talking about others who are actual creators. Bob Bledsoe II doesn't create. He just holds on to an IP. But there are creators in our industry that are associated with the left or the right. And I have gotten flack in the past because I've dared to share out Kickstarters of people who on our non-gaming social media are known to be on the left or be on the right. You know what? I don't care what their politics are. I don't care what your politics are. Okay? What we share in common is gaming. All right? And nerd stuff and geek stuff. That's what we share in common. I don't need to stress what we don't share in common. It has nothing to do with our commonalities, our shared experiences. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg just passed. And for years, Justice Scalia was her closest friend on the Supreme Court. And I was reading that they actually knew each other before the Supreme Court. They were on, I guess, the same circuit. And Scalia would try to make her laugh when lawyers were making presentations, and she'd have to pinch herself not to laugh. They made a connection, and they stressed their commonalities and not their political differences. All right? That does not seem to work on social media. On social media, people focus on the differences and they define themselves by their politics. Okay? I define the tavern. I define Tavern Chat, the Ten Cars Tavern blog, and the various communities on Facebook and MeWe and Discord by our commonality, our love of gaming, particularly old school gaming, but gaming in general. Now, if you're going to take offense because I might have, I don't know, I'm not going to throw a real name out there, John Smith, I might have him sit down with me and do a fireside chat. We're going to talk gaming, and then somebody come out huff and a puff and go, oh, well, so and so 10 years ago worked for I Hate Dogs. And I'm personally offended that you had them on your show. Go fuck yourself. All right? I had them on the show not because of what they do outside of gaming. I had them on the show because of what they do inside of gaming. Now, does that mean that there are people that I will avoid? Am I totally neutral? No. If you personally attack me, if you decide that your way to get attention is to, I don't know, jump up and down in the back of the classroom and go, "Oh, Mr. Tenka! Mr. Tenka, you're an ass! Yeah, look at me! Again, go fuck yourself. All right? If you don't have the maturity to act like an adult, I'm not gonna fall for the attempts. Okay? Some of the attempts are just so fucking blatant. And besides which, you've already gone out and insulted me. Why should I give you my bandwidth? It's going to be a stressful couple of weeks. We got about a month and a half to the elections, and I suspect no matter how they play out, we're going to have some interesting times afterwards. And that is why it is very important for the people in this community to understand that the tavern is not the place to have your fucking meltdown. Or it's not your place to plant your political or social issue flag and think that you're going to make your stand. Because you're going to make your stand, it's going to be your final stand in the taverns community. All right? I'm not saying these are not important times. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you are on. These are important times. But this is not the place to have those conversations. The tavern, in its various forms, are not the places to have those conversations. There are more appropriate venues. And I like in social media, whether it's Facebook or posting on Discord or even maybe, to basically, it's like dumpster fires. It's young children playing with matches with a dumpster full of old comic books and dried out books soaked in gasoline, waiting to be lit. Okay? Maturity on social media when it comes to these issues is gone. And I'm not saying the conversations topics aren't mature topics. What I'm saying is the ability to have a mature conversation without name calling, without trying to, I'm going to get the last word in because I'm going to call somebody a communist, fascist, Nazi. No. And it's good, and that's what it all comes down to. I see it all the time on Facebook. We're not going to have that at the tavern. So, forewarned is forearmed. You don't want to be the one that does shit and then I have to go, banned, goodbye. I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the time for it. Okay? More appropriate places are there for these discussions. Have at it there. Alright? What I want from my community is to share, even when we disagree on it, but share opinions and thoughts and news on gaming and RPGs and cool board games and geek stuff and movies and science fiction and fantasy literature and all that stuff. No one gamer's health, of course. Because it's important to me right now. Folks, we're on that gamer's health topic. I'm going to mention, as I always do, we are in the midst of a pandemic. I am not a healthcare professional. My advice to you is use your common sense to keep yourself, your loved ones, your friends, your family safe and healthy. And if you need direction, if you need medical advice, seek it from a medical professional whose opinion you trust. Don't get it from TV. I don't care who's the talking head on TV. I don't care who they work for. They're all a bunch of fucking tools. They've all got an agenda. Get outside the agendas. Be safe, be well, God bless, roll those dice. And God willing, I'll be back again to virtually see you all, talk to you all, manana, right? All right, folks. Laters.